Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly.
Halt.
Jacques,
Halt.
what's up, y'all? What is going on? What's happening? We are here, Bleacher Report, in the building. Tennessee Titans, Jacques, with the loss today against the Minnesota Vikings, 23-13, bro. I know you and I both are very pissed off right now as to how this game happened. I know we have a lot to talk about, but the Tennessee Titans now with another loss. Tennessee now 2-8. The Minnesota Vikings are 8-2 on the flip side of this. Jacques, we here, bro.
Yes, sir. Again. Hey. Back again, copy and paste type thing. But hey, again, we lost. And like you said, just the emotions are running high a little bit, but I think with everybody as well. But we're just gonna get into it. Welcome everybody. Thank y'all when you come, participate in the show. Halt. Let's just hop into it, brother. Give us
Yes,
the
sir.
reason why we lost the game, bro.
The main reason we lost this game is because of the referees. And we got that quote, we got that out there as well, too, y'all, as far as the poll question. The refs. The refs. Yes, we did our situations as well. Don't get me wrong, dude. When you look at penalties, we had 13 penalties. 13. I think the biggest penalty was in the end zone on Brown. You know, when he hit Addison, right? Dude, that was a clean hit. That was clean. This is the NFL. It's going to happen. He didn't hit with his helmet. He didn't hit with his crown or his face mask. It was shoulder to chest. It was a legitimate hit. So when you're looking at the television as well, even the reporters say this was one of the worst he's seen in a long time against one team. It was the penalties, bro. Pass interference calls on Brownlee against Justin Jefferson. Ticky-tack. And we're talking about penalties that ended up converting into first downs for Minnesota. Minnesota wasn't driving the ball like that much, man, if it wasn't for these these penalties. The 13 penalties to 3. Minnesota had 3 all game. That hurt us big time. There were momentum shifters. It caused us as well to stop in our momentum, even on offense. And again, there are a few penalties, yes, was on us. I understand that. But the biggest penalties on the fact that you look at them now scoring touchdowns because of penalties. We stop them on third down, penalty, they get the ball first down, they score a touchdown. Penalties is the main reason. There's other reasons, but for me, is the main reason why the Tennessee Titans lost against the Minnesota Vikings was penalties for me, Jacques. What about you? What were the main reasons why we lost this game, bro?
I can say penalties, but I'm going in a different direction. I mean, everybody's harping on the penalties, but even without the penalties, we were able to execute some and not able to execute some as well. I think defensively, they did a good job at clamping down and getting down to Justin Jefferson, clamping down on just the whole overall offense of the Minnesota Vikings. When I look at our offensive line struggled today, and I get it. I mean, Flores was sending a zero blitz every other play. It's hard to pick those things up, but just you got the consistent play, then you got the inconsistent play, then inconsistent play, some of the play calling. So I'm just going to kind of give it an overall just spread of the toast on the butter is, hey, yeah, penalties killed us because that was like 90% of the piece of it. But when we wasn't committing penalties, some things were executed well, some things wasn't. And I'm gonna get on to a play call that I didn't like from Mr. Callahan here in a minute, but we're gonna get into that in the next segment. So for me, besides the penalties, I think the offensive line didn't play as well, and also some of the execution just from an offensive perspective. But when we did execute, man, we were there. But just the penalties again killed us. So
Yeah, man. Yeah. So for those that just joined us again, the Tennessee Titans lose today against the Minnesota Vikings, 23-13. The Tennessee Titans now have only won 2 games this season. So Jacques, looking at this game, it sounds like you got something to say about Brian Callahan.
I
So
do.
we're gonna throw that poll question out there as well too. So Jacques,
Yes, sir.
how would you grade Brian Callahan overall as far as his coaching versus the Minnesota Vikings?
Man, I was gonna give him a B, but I'm giving him a actual D. Well, no, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna give him a C minus. I'm just gonna give him a C minus just because he let Will Levis kind of do his thing a little bit. But there was one play call that pissed me off, and it was the third and I think was it 3rd and 4. And instead of taking the option of saying, "Hey, Will, this is the free range, do what you do," right? 3rd and 4, I'm spreading. I'm doing an all-out spread offense. Let's go. Let's try to get this thing beyond the sticks and then live to fight another down. Why are we going 2 down territory in our, I think, on our 50, and you telling me you going for it? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? Okay. In this instance, I did not like that play call at all. It pissed me off because I'm like, hey, man, I don't trust this offense to say, go out there and convert a 4th and 4. 4th and 1? Yes. 4th and 4? No, we're not there yet. Okay. When I'm looking at this, I'm like, Brian, what are we doing? Then all of a sudden, 4th and 4 come around, sack. I have a problem with my my head coach's calling plays. Sean Payton does a very good job at it because he's Sean Payton. He does his thing, right? Certain head coaches are able to do that. Brian Callahan, in my opinion, you're not there yet. In my opinion, I would personally like to see us go out and get an offensive coordinator, a play caller, in my opinion, because I just want Brian to concentrate on being a head coach. I think sometimes you get in your bag, you still want to put your hand in everything and go from here, there, to there. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I give him a C minus. But the only reason I'm giving him a C minus, I'm gonna repeat, is because he kind of let Will Levis kind of do his thing, right? Air it out and do what you got to do. But that's for me. What about you, Hawk?
So Jacques, facts, no paper. Let me tell you why I'm grading Brian Callahan in this game, bro. I'm giving him a D plus, if that makes sense. This is why I say this. To add to what you said, I totally agree with that, right? Okay, there were times the offensive linemen looked confused out there, right? There were times where you look at Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, you look at Brunskill, they had people right in front of them. They had a defensive tackle in front of Brunskill and a defensive end in front of Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, and they run a tight end screen. Mm-hmm. Why is it that Nicholas Petit-Ferrer and Brunskill block down on the D tackle, leaving the defensive end wide open to tackle Okwankwo, right? Like just stuff like that. The offensive line was confused the entire game. They would literally scratch their heads like, bro, what's going on? That's coaching. Now, I give it, again, I know his father, Bill Callahan, is the coach of the offensive line. But that goes to your head coach. If you know there's some struggles, you need to make those adjustments. And that didn't happen. On top of that, with Will Levis, yes, he allowed Will Levis to play Will Levis ball. We've been saying that all season. Like, let's not be conservative. Allow Will Levis to play his type of football. He finally started doing that in the 3rd quarter, and what happens, right? It's like, why have you been so conservative even in the first half? Bro, at the end of the day, we only had 13 points. 13 points. So we can cut cake as much as we want, but what are the ingredients? The cake looks good. You got the cherry on top, but at the end of the day, the cake's nasty. 13 points is trash. We can't generate points. We get rid of Mike Vrabel to get a united coach like Brian Callahan, and we're only scoring 17 this game, 17 this game, 13 this game. I know Minnesota has a great defense, and we spoke on that on our show. But, man, you got to have more than 13 points. You finally let your quarterback go, throw a lot of passes and get things downfield. We finally get some points on the board. But this is something he should have done earlier in the game. We are still not scoring points. So that's kind of where I'm at with him, bro.
I agree. I mean, I rock with it. Not for real. Now, speaking of Will Levis, Will Levis had a unique day. What would you give grade? What would you grade Unique's? Not Unique's. What would you grade Will Levis's play today?
I would say for Will Levis, man, I'm giving him a B, a solid B today. I think Will Levis, again, today, when I look at his stats, the one interception they're going to have, that's a throwaway. I'm not going to even consider that interception at the end of the game. At one point in time, Will Levis, in the 4th quarter, his quarterback rating was 125 from a quarterback rating standpoint. Completion percentage wasn't the greatest, but he had 295 yards and a touchdown, and had one touchdown that was called back. Again, referees doing this, right? So I really liked how Will Levis played today. We said on our last show, have we seen improvement? I have. Brian Callahan, listen if you're listening to the show. Allow Will Levis to play Will Levis ball. Listen to what we're saying. Mason Rudolph should never be on the field again right now for the rest of the season. If Will Levis throws 5 interceptions in the game, let him throw 5 interceptions. You have to see what you have. We understand throwing the football down deep is what he likes to do, especially when the team blitzes and they run these blitz. That's when Will Levis is at his best. When you're not, I have a complicated defense. There's one-on-one on the outside. Will Levis is throwing the ball. I really like the fact that our run game was terrible today, dude. It was horrible. We said they're not going to run against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, Tony Pollard had 15 yards rushing, and Tajay Spears had 0 yards rushing. Will Levis led us in rushing at 18 yards. So it was all on Will Levis. Though he only scored 13 points, based on what I've seen, I'm getting not to say Will Levis played winning football because, again, we only had 13 points. But against a really good defense, against a quarterback that we still are trying to figure out, I'm giving Will Levis maybe a B-. I'm giving him a B for sure for me, man. So what about for you, Jacques?
I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him a B as well. Just off alone what he's able to do from a deep ball perspective. Now, again, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'll give him a B strictly from what he was able to do just playing Will Levis ball. Now, can you continue to play Will Levis ball like that in the NFL and succeed? In my opinion, no. Okay. Just in my opinion, because you can't survive off of just throwing it deep. I call it backyard football. It's backyard football. That's all it is, right? Backyard football, you're having a ball playing backyard football. And when you play backyard football, it either works or it don't work. We in the NFL, we know we're dealing with some smart people. You're dealing with consistent people. So for today's game, from what he was able to do execution-wise, what Brian told him to do, he get a good B from me today. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So speaking of Will Levis, Jacques, I'm still want to kind of talk about Will Levis today. You know what I'm saying? As far as this game, because this game brought something different that we hadn't seen in a while. So, Jacques, I do have a question about Will Levis. I know it's early, bro, and I know folks on Twitter and just all around, we get a lot of messages about, the future and things like that. Did you see enough today out of Will Levis to be like, hey, man, he's our future? Did you see enough?
No, I haven't. Be honest with you. He needs to do this consistently. And in my opinion, we need to start winning some games. When we start winning games, when I start seeing more consistent play, and what I mean by consistent play, not a deep ball here or there, where like today, like he did very good at throwing the deep ball. I'm like, okay, that's his bread and butter. If he's going through his reads, that's his first read is who's deep. Okay, he's down there, I'm gonna throw it. I don't care who's down there, right? Those touchdowns, he got very fortunate because they were on the zero play call, right? The zero blitz, man to man, it's on you in the corner. If you can't do what you got to do, it's a wrap, right? So 9 times out of 10, he's been able to win those, right? He's done a very good job at winning those. But in my opinion, no, I need to see more. I need to see more consistent play when it goes through reading your progressions and everything like that. Because once you get to that point where you can read through your progressions, oh yeah, we there. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah, facts, no paper. No, we still got a lot to see out of him. I think you and I have discussed, like, allow Will Levis to play all season, right? Now, it's good to see a quarterback finally getting the ball down the field, but to say, like, oh, he's our future, that some people might be saying right now, it's way too early to know that for sure. I think Will Levis needs to improve on, as far as holding on the ball too long. Yes, I really think it's a product of him making so many mistakes early in the season instead of just firing off the football and just going crazy and losing his mind. I think right now he's like, you know what? I'd rather take a sack than be a meme god out here and making turnovers. Cool. I get that. So I see that as progress. I also see him running the football a bit better as progress. So I see progress. But just like anything in life, it takes time. You know what I'm saying? So, just being patient throughout the season to see what you have. So I think right now, yeah, it's way too early to know if he's the guy for those that think that he is based on the last 2 games. But I see promise that I'm not sitting there saying he's the franchise, he's the quarterback, we're good. He's got a long way to go, but I do like what I saw out of him today, for sure.
I'm going to add to this, his pocket presence sucks, man. I'm just going to be honest. He does not have very good pocket presence, and I don't know how you coach that and continue to coach that because it's kind of been like that since college. And I think that's just him. It's just him. It kind of is what it is. So,
right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, well, cool. Well, folks, if you are now just joining us again, the Tennessee Titans did lose today in Nashville, 23-13 against the Minnesota Vikings. The Titans, again, have only had 2 wins this season. I'm not sure where they are from a draft standpoint. As of this moment, I'm guaranteed he's top 3, if not number 2. But first of all, I want to give a shout out again. We're here on Bleacher Report. Follow us on Bleacher Report here at Lorenzo_the Hawk and at Jacques Merrill. We're at Tennessee Titans Weekly on YouTube. We have merchandise on Teespring, Tee Spring. Check out Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Twitter, Titans Weekly 24/7, and on Instagram, Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on those internet streets, man. So, Jacques, let's get to our favorite part of the show, bro. So, for those, if it's your first time watching this, man, this is our favorite part of the show called the Live Chop Up. If you're watching us on any other platform outside of Bleacher Report, it won't show live. But if you are, you can comment wherever. But if you're watching us on Bleacher Report, it is live. Give us a question. Throw the questions out there. We'll post it on here. We'll answer them. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Do I see a question? I don't just yet.
All right.
Let me see. The O-line is not helping get through his progressions. I get the O-line discussion, but also when I look at the O-line when Mason Rudolph is in there, who's a more seasoned quarterback that goes through his progressions, they tend to block a little bit better. The thing about the O-line is just like anything else in football. I can only hold you. What's that saying, Hawk? You only have 3 seconds, and this is gonna be the longest 3 seconds of your life. And when it comes to football, I don't care what level you play. On that offensive line, a defensive line, wide receiver, corner, I only have a specific second to hold you up as much as I can, right? Yep. And that's why when quarterbacks, their throw speed or the how fast they get the ball out of their hand, you see good quarterbacks 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, boom, boom, boom. That's because the offensive line only has so much, so they have so long to hold their blocks until at that point it becomes either a hold or you getting a sack. So I get it. The right side is horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
Right
facts.
now.
Facts.
Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, I don't see why they continue to rotate them. What's the guy that started last week?
Yeah, he got hurt. Leroy Watson.
Oh, Leroy Watson. He showed did. I was rocking with him. He was at least half decent, right?
Right.
So he said, "Do you guys think we'll get a hold of a Rand? Hold on. Do you guys think y'all can get a hold of Rand and let me play right tackle?
Let him play.
Well, then for you, that's like, hey, if you put your bid in, man, put your tape out there, bro.
Exactly.
We need somebody.
We need somebody, man. We need
somebody. Put your measurables out there, man. We'll definitely holler at Rand and say, hey, Rand, this is what we got. But
our right tackle position has been unbelievably bad. It's historically bad over the last several years. There were times Nicholas Petit-Ferrer shouldn't even be on the field. He shouldn't even be in the NFL. That's how bad he played in the first half. I was like, that's terrible, man. So Jacques, I have a question for you, bro. Yeah. Let's give a few shout outs to some of the players real quick, man, who did well today. Man.
So go ahead. Go ahead. Go for it. I want to give a game ball to Baker. Shout out to Baker for doing this thing because that was a hard assignment to hold Justin Jefferson to what you held him to. So shout out to Baker. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to Nick Westbrook-Akina, man. 2 catches, 117 yards, 98-yard reception, the longest reception in Titans history, since 1960 something. Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, look at me. Nick Westbrook-Akina has been incredibly efficient and reliable. He has 16 catches and 5 touchdowns this season.
5 touchdowns, yep.
So Nick Westbrook-Akina, hey man, keep doing your thing, boss. Yep. For real.
Hey, that joker gonna go to the Pro Bowl off that alone. Just the touchdown ratio alone. I think he got more touchdowns than AJ Brown. There's a list of wide receivers that he has more touchdowns. He's reliable. He's reliable.
He is reliable.
Hey, DN for you're correct. Brownlee is now. Hawk knows this. If I got a rookie that I rocks with heavy, is Brownlee. I feel like Brownlee is going to be something special on this team.
Yep.
It's just something I got a feeling. But my guy Brownlee, shout out to you, rookie, because you are killing it, my guy.
Yeah, man.
You are killing it.
And where I see Brownlee improving, man, even he's still aggressive, right? And he's gonna be like that, and that's okay. That's his strength. But what I see him too, he's kind of been a mix of not just always being aggressive, kind of backing off a little bit, will chuck when he needs to, get him out space, and it has decent closing speed. So hey man, he's cornerback 1 right now. To your point, Baker did well too. But yes, to your point, DN, for you, yes, that pass interference call was the second biggest flunder. And it's the referee number 95. Who is he? The catch that Addison made, he said he made the catch. The other ref said, nah, he didn't make the catch. I knew that on my television. I said, he didn't make that catch.
Yeah, I see.
He's also the referee that called the unsportsmanlike conduct on Brown on the Addison hit. I'm like, who is number 95 is the ref? We got to find his name because he had a horrible, horrible day in calling games today.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, shout out to them. Shout out to them boys, man.
Yeah,
Again,
man. Yeah.
shout out to them. And I
I
see
give
Bryce Oliver getting involved too. I'm like, look
me
at Bryce, man.
too.
Look
Me
at
too. I
Bryce,
see.
bro.
Oh, and not just catching the ball, even on special teams, making tackles. I see
Yes.
you, Bryce.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you a player that I feel had a good game today too. And from a stat standpoint, it probably won't show. I think he had 4 tackles today. Was Devondre Sweat, man? The last
Yeah.
2 games, I've seen
disruptive.
Sweat with a lot of energy, bro. Like he gets pissed. I saw him for the first time today.
Yeah,
I
man.
saw him pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was pissed off.
He's disruptive. He is very disruptive. I mean, he's a problem in the middle. Like they had a problem running the ball on us. I'm gonna tell you, even though we're trash, I get it. But the bright spot with this team is this defense, man. And I've said this. I said this going into the season. Our defense is about to be a problem, and we continue to be a problem on defense. We just can't get turnovers. Another thing I do have a complaint about with our defense is when we rush 4, we can't get sacks.
Right.
That's a problem for me. That is a problem for me. I don't like that. That's a big problem that we need to address. Let's see. Cubs Mavis Tight says, what do you think is the biggest need next season? As of now, what position should they go first? Now, let me ask you this, Cubs. Can you elaborate on that? Is that free agency or is that the draft? Or is that a combination of both? And go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think too, and I see somebody with the Mike Brown comment. I agree. I think Jeffrey Simmons had a hell of a game today. Arden Key had a really good game. Like to your point, Kenneth Murray had a good game. Them guys played well on defense. And hope speedy recovery for Jack Gibbons, man. He broke his leg, bro. It's a really bad injury. Hope he's okay. As far as our biggest need next season, it depends on 2 things. One, how does Will Levis finish the season, right? So if he finishes the season pretty well, I still say we should bring in a quarterback, but that as a free agent, maybe not as a draft pick. But again, depends on who's available. If Shador or Cam is available, you better consider that regardless, right? But I think it's on Will Levis. If he's terrible, it's quarterback 100%. Right. If it's not quarterback, it's either right tackle or wide receiver. You know what I mean? So he's saying draft. What you think, Jacques?
It's the same thing. It depends on our draft position. Like you said, if we top 3 and Cam drops or Shador, like you said, and that's if Deion allows Shador to come here, because that's a whole nother conversation. But like you said, it has to be the quarterback position. And again, I've talked about a bridge quarterback too. I don't know who's out there for the next season or whatnot, but if you need to bring in a bridge to compete against Will, somebody needs to come in here and challenge Will. I think Will doesn't have anybody to challenge him right now, right? He quote unquote lost his job to Mason, but you were hurt. I need some fire under you to get you going. Now, if they see like, hey, okay, we drafting 6. I hate to say this, and I hate to do this again, but get a right tackle and get your right tackle. Unfortunately, we got to build it up. I would prefer somebody in free agency that's already established, but go get your right tackle. Now, hopefully, we're not having this conversation in another 2 or 3 years. I'm getting tired of having this conversation, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I understand.
It's starting to get frustrating. Okay.
Yep.
But if you don't see a receiver, if you see a receiver that you can get them the quarterback, whoever, some help. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, this receiver core is okay. It's not as advertised in the offseason that it was in training camp.
That's right. That's right. Yep. That's a heck of a comment by T. Kelly. What up, T. Kelly? I'm telling you this. T. Kelly beat me to the spot because the next thing I was going to talk about was our defense. Yeah. When you look at the players we just talked about, we pretty much said everybody on defense had a hell of a game, right? I mean, Murray he was accounting for 10 tackles today. You see how Monty Hooker was out there hitting folks, bro? Monty Hooker, I was like, damn, Hooker, you all right? You pissed off, ain't you, bro? Man, so I totally agree, T. Kelly. Mm-hmm. So the one stat that's weird is the fact that the Tennessee Titans coming into this game was number 2 in the league in defense. Minnesota's number 3, actually. Number 2 in defense, but bottom of the list in points against. What I mean is we give up a lot of points. But to your point, T. Kelly, it's because the offense is on the field too long. Their offense, I'm talking about the opposing team's offense. They're going to eventually score, but we still hold for it. Yep. And then you play on the short field, right? So I think our defense, they are not playing like they're giving up on this season. Nope. And if for those Titans that are listening, we appreciate your efforts, dude. Yeah. Keep playing hard. Whether if you come back next year, keep doing your thing, but play even for next year for another contract with another team. At the end of the day, they're playing their asses off. And shout out to our defense, man. Keep chopping, bro.
DM for you says, do you think Will would be better if we would be better if we had a veteran quarterback to learn from and watch? Rudolph isn't a proven vet like that. He had that with quote unquote Tannehill. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, the training wheels are off. The learning stage,
Tell him, Jacques.
the learning stage is done. Okay.
Done.
I can. He's not a rookie, and I know
Yep.
some people said at the beginning of the season. He's his second year. If I see other quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, picking up their system faster than you, then I have a problem. Okay,
Yep.
so I've taken off the training wheels. Training wheels are done. I've put a playbook in front of you. Yeah, I'm not playing towards your strengths, but I need you to execute what I put in front of you. Right?
Facts.
If
Facts.
you can't execute that, then we got a problem. All right.
Facts.
So,
Absolutely.
So in my opinion, he's already had that. He's had a veteran quarterback in Tannehill to learn from.
That's right.
He had plenty of time to learn. They
Yep.
said they were going to give him the keys and then go from there.
Yep.
What about you, Hawk?
Yep, totally agree. Totally agree. Absolutely. It's done. That's done. That's done. We don't need a veteran quarterback. We don't need none of that. Will Levis is who he is. Him sitting down, he sat down enough this season. He is who he is. By seeing somebody else, I don't think it's going to make him any better. He is who he is. The best way Will Levis plays is Will Levis football. Hey, Will, go out there, dog. Do what you do, bro. We'll coach accordingly. We don't need to put you in a box and conform you to try to be somebody that you're not. Go out there, do what you do. No, I totally agree with that, y'all.
Let me see what we got. Another question here. Devan says, "What do you guys think about drafting wide receiver McMillan from Arizona with this year's offensive line class being weak for this upcoming draft? He's a beast. He reminds me of Mike Evans. Dude,
he's Mike Evans 1,000%, bro.
Yep, he's a beast. Now he needs to be part. I won't make him my number one receiver off the rip. I still think he needs to do a lot more. But yes, I would draft him if he's there. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah. It depends on where we draft, man. Again, if we're number 7th, you draft him because we need a receiver. We need a wide receiver. And so I get that. And he could be a receiver for the Titans for many years. But if we're top 2, no, man, you better draft a quarterback. Unless if we do not draft, if we pick 2 and Will Levis if we do not draft a quarterback, we're basically saying Will Levis is our quarterback for the future. So to me, it depends on the draft spot. Pick 7, none of them quarterbacks will be available. Yes, I can see us drafting McMillan or Luther Burden from Missouri. So yeah, man. Yep.
And don't get into a New York Giants situation where you're trying to hold on to something that's not there, Daniel Jones.
Yep. That's
right. They've been bad for so long.
That's facts. So the Titans right now, as of today, are you all ready? If the draft started at this moment right now, today, Jacksonville's number 1. Nope, Jacques. The Tennessee Titans are number 2.
Number 2. There we go.
They're number 2. The Tennessee Titans will be drafting number 2 as of right now. Number 2 in the draft.
Now, let me ask you a question. Would Jacksonville draft Travis Hunter if the draft started today?
They will. Yes, they would. Absolutely. They need him. They need Travis Hunter.
Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a monkey wrench that'll get thrown in there. Deion is not letting Travis Hunter, his other son, go to the Jags. I guarantee you. He's not letting him go there.
I got you.
I wouldn't let my son go to the Jags.
Yeah. Well, but then after that, you got the Titans, you got the Cleveland Browns, unless he would say somebody needs a trade, like the Dallas Cowboys, trade up to get the number 1 pick or something like that. Right?
Or the Raiders.
Yep. The Raiders are 4. Yep. Raiders are 4 right now. So right now, the Titans are number 2 in the draft slot right now. And I really think, y'all, the Titans will finish no under pick 3. They're going to be a top 3 pick in the draft.
Yep.
They will.
I agree.
Because we don't score enough points.
Nope.
Jacques, you said earlier, you was like, Hawk, we're not just that trash. You look at our roster, and I don't disagree with that, Jacques. I'm not saying that we're just so trash. We just don't score enough points. So that's on you, Brian Callahan. For those who have a lot of confidence in Callahan, I get it. But I haven't seen enough yet. He hasn't proven it to me yet. At the end of the day, it's anyone's job. You have results at the end of the day, right? Your year-end results is based on your KPIs. Our offensive KPIs is horrible. We had 13 points, ladies and gentlemen. 13.
And as many deep shots as we took today downfield, it felt like we should have been we should have been up like 25 points or something crazy like that. But
Facts,
like you
dog.
said, it's just like it's like the wheel is just, it's like you're just running on water. That's the only thing.
Yep.
You're running on
That's
water.
right.
You're running on water.
That's
Running
right.
on water.
Facts,
So yeah,
facts,
man.
facts, bro. Facts. So, well, cool. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you all for joining the show, man. As always, man, we appreciate it from everybody tuning in with Bleacher Report. Hey, we here, post-game shows, man. Loving doing this, man. So, again, and for those who have not followed us, follow us today. Hit the like button as well, too. Hit the fire icon as well, too, man. Check it out at Lorenzo_the Hawk. We got Jacques at Jacques Merrill. We're on Tennessee Titans Weekly on YouTube. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We're on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We are in those internet streets, bro.
Yes, sir. And again, thank y'all, Bleacher Report, for giving us this opportunity. Thank y'all for the Weekly family for participating, man. Without this show, we wouldn't be here. So again, let's get to the next one. Who we play next, Hawk? We play Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah.
That's right.
We
Houston.
play Houston. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, Hawk. Well, take us away, bro.
Okay, man. Well, we hope you all have a good rest of your day and have a great rest of your week as well. Of course, we'll do the pregame show very soon for the Houston Texans game. As we always say and as we always do, folks, facts.
No paper.